So we are going to learn the PL SQL now, and this must be your first video on PL SQL because till now on my channel you can see only the SQL videos. So we will have a look at the PL SQL, how to execute the statements, how to write down the PL SQL block. What do you mean by PL SQL block? Okay, and a lot of things we are going to understand over here. And obviously, when you talk about PL, that is procedural language, structured query language. So structured query language is embedded in procedural language. And we can write the queries in PL SQL. We can write down um, the statements like we can say the conditional constructs, sequential constructs, or maybe the looping constructs or the iterative constructs. Okay. So we are going to understand all these things along with exceptions and maybe procedures and functions, sequences, cursors. So there are many more things. Yeah, triggers, I forgot. Fine. So there are many more things we are going to understand and learn when you talk about PLSQL. So instead of just talking, I'll start with it. So when we talk about the PLSQL block, actually there are various sections, and it starts with declare, then begin, exception if required, and end. So actually declare has got the declaration of the elements. You can take the values of the variables from the user. We will understand it now. Okay. And when you talk about the begin, you can give some pre-processing statements. For example, if you want to select the data from the table into your PLSQL block, okay, or if you want to say insert the data from the in the PLSQL block, or update the data from the PLSQL block into the table, fine. So all these things can be insert, update, delete, or they can be the TML operations. They can be used very easily when we talk about the begin block. Exception is something like you are going to raise an exception. I suppose in any other programming language like Python, Java, you must have done the exceptions, okay? And exceptions are nothing but raising an error, and which is in your format, which is in user's format, okay? So there are obviously two types of exceptions, but yeah, we will talk about this later, fine. And there is an end is nothing but the finish. I want to finish my block, okay? So that is the idea behind it. Now there are various data types which are available, say number, varchar. It is taken as varchar 2 in Oracle NG's PLSQL, but you can give it as varchar or varchar 2, okay? And there is char. Then we can talk about say date, okay? It is always taken in dd-mon-yy in single quotes format, okay? Obviously, there are to-char, to-date functions, how to get the data, maybe the number or the date in the character format. For that, a to-char is used. When you talk about to enter the data into the specific format, say DDMONYY and the HH:mi format also, then obviously we can make use of to_date. Okay. So that is all about the number of things which I told you. Obviously, they can't be covered in one tutorial, but yes, I would try to do that. So let's start the programming. So I'm going to make use of two tables today, employee and EMP and student. I would come to them. So this is my employee table, and there are various functions which have been used. Okay, and we can say the data can be truncated, or the data can be shown in a specific fashion or the manner. We can make use of the trunc function, which is going to truncate the values. When we give the value, say I am giving here select trunc of birth date minus trunc of sysdate. Sysdate is nothing but the system date. Okay, select sysdate from dual. We talked about the sysdate function, the sysdate table, the sysdate as a date, that is a system table, and we talked about the dual table. The dual table is nothing but the system table which is useful for executing the various function onto it when you don't have your own table. Okay, so all these things I'm just telling you in a quick manner so that you can go ahead with the programming. So here you can see the things in such a way that if I give sysdate minus birth date, so if I give it like this, it would give me in the decimal point, and I don't want that the minus thing, the difference between the sys date and my birth date as in the decimal point, because I don't want to calculate the hours and minutes. So here truncate has been used. Okay, so that is the idea behind it. Then you can see here select sysdate from dual, you can get it in the DDMONYY format. Fine. And then you can, if you give it the various functions like to care of sysdate in MON format or to care of sysdate in YYYY format, you get the data in this particular manner. Okay. So that is the idea behind it. Now, obviously, when we talk about the various statements, fine, then we have to give them in this particular manner, and the data can be inserted in this manner in the student table along with say to date, firstly the value and then the format if I want to enter the date and time also. So there are various things, there are a lot of things which are available. I would be taking them one by one, but I want to take the PL SQL block today, and I want to tell you how to make use of the update statement or how to take the value from the user. That's why this tutorial would be useful. So you can see here I have written a PL SQL block, and I'll show you. Yeah, you can see here uh, we have discussed that how to take the value from the user. They are the memory variable. This is my PL SQL block and this is my memory variable, and this is a reference data type. Okay, and this employee table is already present, I showed you at the beginning. And emp.eno percent type, this emp.ename percent type, and emp.sal and emp.birth date. Okay, I want to find out whatever the employee number has been passed. Okay, I want to find out the age of the person. Fine. So you can see here the difference, the date difference or something type of thing. Fine. So you can see here uh, the select eno comma ename comma sal comma birth date into sorry, trunk of sysdate minus trunk of mbdate into meno ename msal mbdate, and dt is my variable. Fine. And I have tried to do it, but it is not showing me. It is showing me the employee number, but it is not showing me the difference, I suppose. So I'll just go ahead and I'll show you some other block. Fine. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, when you want to find out the difference between the two dates and the value in number of years, we can give it as a round off. Okay, trunk of sys date minus trunk of birth date divided by 365, because 365 days are there in 1 year. Okay, and then I used the same thing in my PL SQL block, and I will show you how to execute it. You can see here, you can see the value, okay, which was not coming in the previous block. So you can see here I have taken the users, the variable, memory variables, they are memory variables, they are the columns which are there in the table. I can't use directly the columns because one database object can't be used in another database object. That is the idea behind it. So we have to refer the reference data types along with the memory variable. You can see here every time I'm not going to give e number equal to 1 or e number equal to 2, because I will really not know that whether I have all these values in my table or not. So I can take them from the user. So this is a new style which we have not done yet. Okay, ampersand meno. The meaning is select eno comma birth date into meno comma mb date from emp. Okay, where there is a column from table, so the column from the table eno equal to ampersand meno. So when I'll be executing the program, you can see it is asking for the value. As soon as you give ampersand, the meaning is enter the value for meno. Okay, now the thing is you can give it over here also, colon equal to ampersand meno. But then that meno you'll have to write it down as eno equal to meno. Instead of giving it over here in the query, we can give it over here too. Fine. Now I want to find out the months between. I want to find out the months between the sys date and the the person's birth date, which has been given in the table, according to the table. I can't print it directly, so I'll have to take it into the memory variable. This is dt is my memory variable, which is not there in the table. That's why it is not given with respect to emb dot something. Okay, and where once you take that value meno, you don't have to take it again, because it might happen that once you gave one, another time you gave two, and SQL would get confused that what do you want the value for. Okay, so eno equal to meno. Okay, because once we have taken it, and I want to print, so dbms underscore output line is for printing. dt, because the value is in dt, you can see here I have executed. meno is 1 and the days are 242. Now you can find it out in the years also. You can do it, I know it, and do let me know. Now there is one more thing. If suppose you don't want to show every time on the PL SQL block, you want to update it into the table. Fine. So I have written another program over here which you can see, which I have executed this on the SQL prompt also. For example, I have a student table, fine, which has got roll number, name, and marks. So I want to convert those values into my memory variables, and I'm taking the roll number from the user. Now the values have been given. I'll show you the table once. Just a minute. You can see the values over here, the tables, the records over here, you can see them. Fine. I deliberately gave few students are passed and few students will be failed, and I want to update it into the grade in the table from the PL SQL block. So if the value is there in M marks, so if M marks greater than 30 dbms underscore, I want to print it to student is passed and update student set. The column is grade. It is not M grade. It is grade equal to pass, where roll number equal to M roll number. What is M roll number? Which has been taken from the user over here. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to give it ampersand over here. Else, update student set grade equal to fail, where roll number equal to M roll number. And end if and end. This is something which we are talking about, the conditional construct. Okay, we understood the condition. So here you can see it executing or under execution. Yeah, you can see here it is asking for me the value, the value as 1 I entered. Okay, for 1 the marks were 34. I have given the condition as greater than 30, so he's passed. So the student is passed is also printed, as well as grade pass has been updated. So this was about the PL SQL block, where we can show the data onto the PL SQL block and we can update it into the table too. Fine. Next time we would try to insert the data from the PL SQL block into the table, and then you will understand. So I hope you can execute such type of blocks very easily, and just try it. Give me the feedback. Thank you.